I love farming. In Skyblock, on Hypixel, in Minecraft, on my computer. The real thing, kinda cringe. Like, why do you as a man need to eat food? Anyways, I decided I would make it easier for myself to farm in Skyblock. Instead of using my stupid normal person keyboard, I'm gonna make my own special keyboard that just has the keys I need for farming. And since my brand new soldering iron arrived today, beautiful thing, highly recommend it. Link in the description if you want to buy one. I don't get paid for it if you do buy one, but if you want to buy one, it's there. Along with everything else you'll need to build this project if you want to build it yourself. Speaking of building this project, let's go build this project. Okay, to be completely honest, I forgot to plug in my microphone when I was recording the intro the first time around. So here's me explaining what I've got and what I'm doing with it. So what I've got here is a key switch, pretty standard, you see them in every keyboard. If you push it, it completes a circuit and lets whatever controller is attached know that the button's been pressed. To house everything in, I have 3D printed a case. You can download the file below. I didn't make it myself. I stole it from a tutorial on how to build one of these. But it holds all of the key switches I need. It holds my controller, which I'll get to in a second, all the wires, and screws in beautifully. To control everything, I have an Arduino Pro Micro. You'll see I previously had used a Raspberry Pi Pico, which is a very similar microcontroller, but I believe mine was defective, so it didn't work at all. The reason I'm using the Arduino Pro Micro is it's capable of emulating HID interface calls. So to break it down for you, whenever you have a keyboard or a mouse attached to your computer, excepting PS2 keyboards and mice, that works slightly differently. When you press a key on your keyboard, it sends a message to your system that says, hey, I have pressed this key, or I have moved this mouse, or I have pressed this button on this mouse. And when the system sees that, it says, okay, this button has been pressed. I will do whatever this button being pressed means. So the Arduino can be like, hey, I'm a keyboard too. And it can say, I want to push this button. And it sends that to your computer. And the computer's like, okay, seems like a legit keyboard to me. And since I'm actually making a keyboard, this works perfectly. The Raspberry Pi I showed off earlier can also do this, but mine didn't work, so I didn't do that. So I've got everything I need here. I've got my case, I've got the cover for the case, I've got my key switches, I've got my keycaps, I've got my Arduino, soldering iron, and all the things I need. So this video is from my first attempt at soldering this thing together. I made a big mistake. I put the key switches in backward, and after I soldered everything together, there was nothing I could do to fix that without just starting over from scratch. So I'm going to show a quick time lapse of me soldering everything together, and then I'm going to cut to me actually soldering everything together for the second time. Here's the moment where I realized that I hadn't plugged my microphone in, and I fix it. So there's actually audio for this next bit. So say goodbye to voiceover and me. Bye, everyone. Okay, I think it's done. I need to double check, make sure nothing's shorting. But I think that's it. Perfect. That's it right there. Okay. And then before I try to shove it all in the case, I'm gonna program it. Okay, here we go. Here's a cord I need. It's a micro USB cable. So we're just gonna plug this in right here. Click. And then I'm gonna find a USB port, hopefully. Okay, there we go. And it's connected. Alright, we're gonna open up the Arduino IDE. And I'm just going to copy this code because why reinvent the wheel when somebody invented it for you? Okay, so we've got the code, we've got it in the Arduino IDE, and I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to leave these keys as F13 through F20 because those are unused keys. You won't find them on a keyboard because it only goes up to F12. And if I wanted to remap this to say something useful like start and stop recording on OBS, I can just unmap it from Minecraft and remap it to OBS, and I won't have to change the key in the code, and I won't have to send it new code. So I'm not using a Teensy, I am using my Arduino Pro Micro. Please compile my sketch. Done compiling, it'll work just fine, and then we're gonna upload it to the board. Remember how I said I was leaving forever? I lied. So hi, voiceover Poplel here, back again. I realized that since F13 through F20 weren't used for anything, there was no way for me to actually test it. So I remapped all of them to F11, and you'll see that in a second. Okay, I'm gonna set one of them to F11 so I'll be able to tell if it's working properly. Okay, it says it's done uploading, so we're gonna go over, we're gonna use this beautiful LTP video right here, and then we're gonna push some buttons. Oh! F11 is working! Since F11 is working, that means the other ones are working too, but I can't see them, so it doesn't matter. But this means it's working. So I have, well, I mean, one of the keys is working, definitively. But if I were to change all of them to F11,
tech news.
Okay, so F11, 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 and F11. All of the keys work. Perfect. Okay. There we go. And then we just kind of mash these in here. Yikes. No way these actually just go in here without something breaking. Okay, I'm gonna punch holes in this and screw it down later. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to happen. One of them broke off. Okay, so we're gonna just heat this puppy up again and solder her back on. Okay, now we're gonna use a cool little tool I've got. They're called heat set inserts. It makes it so basically anything you 3D print, you can just put one of these in, and you can screw it in just like you would on anything that was like properly machined. Perfect. And then I'm going to grab some heat set inserts. I'm going to be using M3 screws. Put this on the end of the soldering iron, and hopefully this works okay. Alright, and then here's where the magic happens. I'm going to press, hence the name, the insert into the plastic, and it just sinks right. Oh, okay. It pretty much worked. Just gotta unplug my soldering iron because we should be done. Should be is the key word there. And then I'm gonna cram this bad boy in there. First, I'm gonna push down the Pro Micro. Okay, it's squished down in there, and I'm gonna plug it in so it can't really come back out. All right, and then we're gonna push these down, and then I'm gonna grab some screws. I think this is the right one, but I'm not certain. Okay, it is. And then I think I'm gonna go with the shortest screws I've got because it doesn't need to go that deep. And then if I ever need to reprogram this for whatever reason, if I want to like change what keys are what, I don't even have to take it back out. I can just reprogram it from the cable, which is great. And I think we're in. Oh, no, it popped back out. Doesn't really matter if I get the screw in all the way. I just need it to hold this down, to be completely honest. Okay. I did it. It's done. Now all we have to do is put some beautiful little keycaps on it. Can never remember which way these actually go, but that seems right to me. And that completes this build. Alrighty, and now to test it out. I think probably one of the most important parts. So I'm gonna fire up Minecraft real quick and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're in Minecraft. I'm gonna use my regular keyboard for a second because I haven't actually set the keybinds. We're gonna log on to Skyblock. Oop. Oh boy, is it lagging. Okay, and then I'm gonna warp to the garden. Alrighty, and then I am going to set my keybinds real quick. I use a mod. I forget which one it is though. Pretty sure it's Skyhanny. Yeah. Okay, so custom keybinds, we want to use attack. I want to be this one right. Oop. Okay, apparently it does not support keys F13 through 25. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to here, and I did a little bit of research, and I think this is the way you do it. I'm just gonna add these keys in here. It's kind of hard to type with the keyboard so far away. And then I think for space, it's just actually a space. Alright, and those are the only keys I actually use for this. So we'll see what this does real quick. Let me verify it just to make sure it actually works. ASD and W are here, and this is space. That should work. That should work right there. So for attack, we're gonna want to use space. Move left, I want to set to W if it'll let me. Seems like it's also pressing shift for some reason. Okay, so brake is working. And it is moving, but it's also making me sneak for some reason. I don't want it to do that. Oh, I see what the problem is. So it's actually trying to type uppercase letters, which is why it's not working. There we go. Then we're gonna go back to the game, and it's working. Okay, so we're gonna brake and then move left. Beautiful. Look at that. I'm farming in Minecraft with a 8-key keyboard I built myself. So I'm going to cut to the end of this line and show you how it'll work when I need to turn the other direction. Okay, so I'm at the end of the farm now. So normally what I do is I use my WASD keys and space, and I go, whoa, bam, like that basically. But with this, I walk left, walk back, walk right, and I keep farming. Isn't that beautiful? It'll take me a little bit to get used to since it's not a normal keyboard and it's a little weird, but honestly, I'm liking it. I'm probably going to remap it to use it kind of like a stream deck because that would actually be useful to me, and I have a keyboard for things like this, and it's a little bit better. Ooh, a pest. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the outro. Boom! Welcome to the outro. If you like this video, like the video and subscribe. I need more subscribers. My goal is to get YouTube rank on Hypixel eventually. So if you could help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. And if you think this is cool, I've got all of the things you need to make it down in the description below. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day, night, or afternoon. Preferably afternoon. Bye.